Kathy Flaherty is a staff attorney for Statewide Legal Services, a nonprofit organization in Middletown. She works on a hotline, helping people struggling to meet life's most basic needs.
If the landlord still hasn't made the repairs after 21 days, you can actually file an action in court. No, your landlord can't throw you out. He has to go through a court process to get you out of the apartment. So we do a lot of teaching here, and we teach people how to handle their own cases so that they can represent themselves. A lot of times just having that reassurance and having that information gives them a lot of power. I think a lot of people have the misconception that legal aid clients sit around collecting welfare and don't do anything to help themselves and are just looking for a handout, but I really think they're looking for a hand up. I view a lot of them as survivors.
Just like Kathy Flaherty.
I'm a person with bipolar disorder. You can swing between the highs of mania and the lows of depression.
Sometimes at the same time.
In my case, I was also suicidal. And I tend more towards the depression side of bipolar disorder.
Mental illness is a journey. For Kathy, it began at Harvard Law School.
I wasn't going to my classes. I wasn't doing the homework. I wasn't sleeping. My thoughts were going really fast. I couldn't concentrate. I wasn't being a responsible student. I wasn't making good decisions.
Except for seeing a psychiatrist for depression.
What had happened was I had told my RA, who said you need to buckle down and do your work, that if she didn't get off my back, I would jump off the roof of Langdale Hall, which is the law school library, the big white building that you see in the paper chase. And she reported that to the psychiatrist, who signed the papers to commit me. And I show up for my appointment one day and my father's there. And when Dad lives in Newington and your school is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, you know something good's not going to happen that day. It was the worst and the best thing that ever happened to me.
How did Kathy find her way?
I had to accept my illness, but for me, once I had very good doctors at McLean, my family stood by me, my friends stood by me.
Kathy had hope.
A huge thing for me was knowing that Harvard would take me back.
She had proof.
Seeing people live successfully with that illness from the very first time I went into the hospital was huge. You know, 95 to 98% of the time, I am totally fine. You would not know walking down the street that I have bipolar disorder. It's not just simply a matter of the professional treatment. There are so many other things that I do to stay well.
Like eating healthy, exercising, and sleeping. When Kathy gets irritable, friends call her on it.
My friend says to me, just because you have a mental illness doesn't give you the right to be a jerk.
Norman Janes, Executive Director of Statewide Legal Services and Kathy's boss, is firm yet supportive.
I think the point is I don't treat Kathy any differently than any other employee. I don't expect less of her. I don't expect more of her. I expect the best job she can do, which is what I expect of everybody. None of us is perfect. All of us have good days and we have bad days.
Norman thought that it could be valuable to the staff to hear my story, could be useful. So Norman gave me the opportunity to share that story when I approached him with that.
Karen Borgnine is a paralegal who works with Kathy.
For her to even be willing to share that with us and the braveness and the courage of doing that, I felt that I had nothing to fear.
So Karen shared her story, how she lives with depression while living life. What's it all about?
I think the answer is obvious, that if the employees are comfortable and can do their work, then we can serve our clients. I mean, that's what we try to do.
Why be so open about a hidden disability? Kathy's dad had the same question.
He said, why do you have to continue to be the poster child for mental illness? And I said, Dad, because I can. There are people who listen to me, because I look like them, I talk like them, I've gone to school with them, I've gone to school with their kids, so they will listen to me. I live with my illness every day, but I'm not just my illness. I hate when people limit themselves by saying I'm bipolar, because it's not all of who you are. Or I hate for anybody to think of themselves as that being all they are, because hopefully there's so much more than that.
See the ability. See how we can work together.